on People Now, inside the prison where Bill Cosby will spend the next 3 to 10 years after his sentencing for sexual assault.
Supermodel and mom Gisele Bundchen says she battled panic attacks so extreme she considered suicide. We have details.
People cover star Chrissy Teigen gets real about the struggles of IVF and wanting a large family in this week's People Cover story.
A People exclusive, how Kevin Hart's marriage was saved after a scandal.
Plus,
Will Smith faces his fears and takes a plunge. It's all today on People Now.
good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to People Now. Great to see you. I don't know about you guys. We're still kind of cooling down, kind of getting back up to speed from last night's season premiere of This Is Us. It's dramatic. Of course, the NBC drama back better than ever.
So we are asking you to send in some gifts that best describe your reaction to the epic premiere. So tweet us with the hashtag #PeopleNow. You may just see it on the show.
I'm predicting some tears. I'm predicting some tissues. We'll see.
You want some good ones.
We'll break down This Is Us and check in on those gifts a little later. But for now, here's what you need to know and what's trending today. We start with this. Kristen Gibbons-Fedden, prosecutor in the Bill Cosby trial, spoke out on the Today Show Wednesday, giving her take on his courtroom demeanor. Take a look.
I can only imagine what was going through his head, just from watching him and looking at his body language. I don't even know that it was clear to him that this was Judgment Day. Judgment Day would soon arise. It didn't appear to me that he thought this day would ever come, and you know what? It came.
Well, 81-year-old Cosby was sentenced to 3 to 10 years in state prison on Tuesday, about 5 months after he was found guilty on 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault for drugging and sexually abusing Andrea, a former Temple University employee. Constan described Cosby as a mentor who used their relationship to assault her at his mansion in Elkins Park, Pennsylvania in January of 2004. Pennsylvania authorities released Bill Cosby's booking photo on Tuesday afternoon after news of his sentencing first broke, showing the disgraced entertainer looking downward. Constan was one of dozens of women who have accused Cosby of a similar pattern of behavior over the years. He has denied their claims and vowed to appeal his conviction in Constan's case, which was the only one to result in criminal charges due to the statute of limitations. According to the terms of the sentence, Cosby will serve a minimum of 3 years in prison and then become eligible for supervised release. But according to Philadelphia public radio station WHYY, nothing promises his release at that time. Cosby's sentence also includes lifetime mandatory sex offender counseling, a $25,000 fine, and requires Cosby to pay for the cost of his prosecution. Cosby has already started serving his sentence at Pennsylvania's State Correctional Institute Phoenix, located in Collegeville, Pennsylvania. According to CNN, the prison just opened its doors in June. It's a state-of-the-art maximum security facility that can house up to 3,830 inmates. The prison, which is described as environmentally efficient with advanced security features, includes a gym, classrooms for recovery and counseling programs, a barbershop, chapel services, and more. We'll keep you posted on that on People.com. Guys, Gisele Bundchen has the picture-perfect life, Super Bowl champ husband, beautiful blended family, but in this week's People, Gisele is opening up about her life as a mom and some of the costs that come with parenting. She reveals that being the sole caretaker for her family of 3, 2 children with Brady and 1 from Brady's past relationship with Michelle Moynihan, means that, quote, you're overwhelmed and tired, and then you're not the nicest partner. But her relationship isn't the only thing that suffered after the birth of her 2 children. The former Victoria's Secret model, known as the boobs from Brazil, that was the way they coined her, she felt a huge toll from breastfeeding. She tells People, I was always praised for my body, and I felt like people had expectations from me that I couldn't deliver. I felt very vulnerable because I can work out, I can eat healthy, but I can't change the fact that both of my kids enjoyed the left boob more than the right. All I wanted was for them to be even and for people to stop commenting on it. So in 2015, she went under the knife for a breast augmentation, a decision she immediately regretted. She reveals, when I woke up, I was like, what have I done? I felt like I was living in a body I didn't recognize. For the first year, I wore baggy clothes because I felt uncomfortable. The lesson from the entire process? She says, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, but she says, I wish I would have learned that a different way. Now, Gisele is reflecting on her life in her new memoir, Lessons, a process she called healing. We'll have more from Gisele later in the show, including her opening up about her struggles with anxiety, some really interesting revelations from her. Stick around for that. Guys, in this week's People Cover story, Chrissy Teigen reveals how she honed her cooking skills, her idea of the perfect date night, and her dreams of one day having a big family. Already mom to 2-year-old daughter Luna and 4-month-old son Miles with husband John Legend, Teigen says they're not ready to expand the family right now, and she's loving having 2 kids. But she says when she's 70 and looking back on her life, she pictures herself saying, "Oh, I wish I had more." She adds, "I can't see myself regretting having a ton of kids." And her hubby, well, it turns out he's on board. She says Legend wants, quote, "however many kids I want, he is down for it." But Teigen keeps it real about how her dreams of a big family will require some planning. She struggled with infertility and became pregnant with Luna and Miles via in vitro fertilization. Now, though they were born 2 years apart, Teigen actually says they were, quote, "made at the same time." She adds they were sharing the same little petri dish together. It's kind of crazy. With a number of embryos left on ice, there are more siblings to be waiting their turn when the time is right. They're waiting for that time, and when it comes, they'll know. When asked about conceiving naturally, Teigen admits it's something she can't even fathom because it's never happened to her, but that it would be, quote, "awesome" if it did. Guys, stick around. We're going to have all the highlights from Chrissy Teigen's on-camera interview with People a little later in the show. She's talking about her ideal date night, the real reason her second cookbook took so long, and a lot more. That's up ahead. Guys, it's been almost a year since Kevin Hart's cheating scandal broke. You remember this? Now the actor, he is back on the big screen with his new comedy Night School, and he opened up to People about how he and wife Aniko saved their marriage.
You know, that word best friend is a real word. And the friendship that I have with my wife is insane. You know, yes, that's my wife. We're lovers. It's a relationship. It's marriage. We've been together for 10 years. Oh my God. The friendship that we have is like no other. And it's been put to the test. Our marriage has been put to the test. And the test that we pass made us love each other more and made us understand our bond even more. It's the most difficult test ever. And, you know, sometimes those tests come from stupidity, but it's how you handle it and how you decide to move forward from it. And, you know, I applaud my wife for just displaying a high level of strength that I can't even explain. I applaud her for being my backbone, my support system, and more importantly, taking my life to the next level.
Wow.
Yeah, you can tell that he's very grateful for having her in his life, especially after all of that stuff went down.
It reminds me, I interviewed Will Smith once, and he talked about the lasting love and lasting marriage, and he's like, you know what, you really know you've got a strong marriage when you've been through the fire together.
Yeah.
You've been through some things, and you can build on that, and you can tell this is something that obviously he's already viewing as something they've been through and they're building.
Yeah, I like seeing them on the carpet. They look very happy. I'm glad they were able to work through everything.
Yeah, and you've got more for us in Star Trek.
Yes, I do. We are kicking off Star Treks today with one celeb who celebrated his birthday with a pretty death-defying act. This is amazing. That's a clip of Will Smith ringing in his 50th like no other. The actor, who's known for his fear of heights, posted the video to his YouTube page on Tuesday, where he can be seen jumping out of a helicopter over the Grand Canyon as his friends and family cheered him on below. No big deal at all. The fan was showing some love in this picture that Will posted to his Instagram, captioned, "My squad holding me down for my big 5-0. And Will made sure to prep his fans for the event, which streamed live, keeping everyone updated on the jump stream time to the apparel he would be wearing. He captioned on Instagram leading up to the stunt, he said, "I think I may have found my helmet and my face for the jump." And Will even had one special guest in the crowd for support, Alfonso Ribeiro, who played Carlton on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I love that little reunion they had. Now, Will was challenged by the Yes Theory to do his jump and raised awareness for the charity Global Citizen, whose goal is to end extreme poverty by 2030. It looks like a lot of fun. Really glad that he did that. And those are your Star Treks for today.
Let's talk about this. You went skydiving.
3 times.
Which
isn't 3
this,
times.
For me, in my head, I almost feel like it would be more scary to bungee jump than skydive. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, but I'm going on a trip in October, and my plan is to go bungee jumping.
Really?
So yeah, just check it off the list.
Yes Theory.
But he's afraid of heights, so that's really cool. He's doing something to conquer his fears.
It's mind-blowing to be afraid of heights and do that, but I feel like I would have more faith in a parachute than this for some reason.
I don't know. It's fine. You only live once, you know? Jeremy.
All right, guys, stay with us. Let's move forward. Gisele Bundchen, she's opening up about her battle with anxiety and the panic attacks that made her feel powerless. Plus, spoiler alerts ahead. We have your This Is Us season premiere recap that's coming up in just a bit. Stick around for that.
All right, but in honor of This Is Us returning, we've been asking for some gifts to describe your reaction, so let's have a look.
I predicted a lot of tears.
Hoping there's a good gift game going on.
Predicted some tissues. We'll see what people thought. Yep, there we go.
It's too much.
That's precious.
When she forgot her jacket.
Right, so she...
Hey,
yeah.
ladies, we've all done that. You forget something at their place or in their car, so then you get to see them again, right?
Bag. But either way, she left it in the seat beside him, letting him know like she did want to talk again after the first date. That's another spoiler. Well, anyway, whatever. Yep, eating the ice cream, just enjoying it. That was me and my wife last night. We were just like digging in, and it was just like so glad it's back. What are they gonna do? And I purposely was like, no, I hear the chords, I hear the music that want me to tear up, and I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, I know, but you're kind of a masochist when you watch the show. It's like you want to cry. Like you're like, I want to watch this, so I'm in pain.
Get it out.
It's so sad.
All right, guys.
Great.
Keep sending in those gifts. But now let's talk about Channing and Jenna. How about it?
Yes, so Channing Tatum and Jenna Dewan are moving on from their split, and sources say they are back in the dating game.
Yeah, they're both kind of taking it casual, nothing too serious. They divorced, you remember, after almost 9 years of marriage.
Which was so sad.
Yeah, it was a big deal. We covered this very closely.
Yeah, so they're both very busy, but Tatum says that being a parent is the biggest job that he has. Jenna's kind of on the same page. The most important thing for them is their daughter, Everly, which is really good to hear because that's a lot of stress for a child to go through at 5 years old.
They opened up about that right after the divorce or the split was announced, that their number one focus was going to be their baby girl. And it really is good now that some time has passed to see that they're working it out in that way. They seem amicable so far. Things seem to be good.
I mean, I guess we'll see when all of a sudden someone actually is in a serious relationship, if that changes. But right now, they're just casually dating and having fun, which I think is very important.
So from that couple, now we will go on to another couple, though, that things seem to be going well.
Yeah, so in this week's People, supermodel Gisele Bundchen is opening up about panic attacks that she had early on in her career. I didn't know about this at all.
For someone like Gisele, we just start by saying this. Life kind of looks perfect from the outside, and she views it that way. People think it's all perfect. You know, they got the NFL husband, the model life, the kids, the whole thing. But she's kind of opening up saying things aren't always glamorous. They're not always perfect behind the spotlight.
Well, especially earlier on in her career. So in the year 2000, she had a $25 million contract with Victoria's Secret.
So far, so good.
Dating Leonardo DiCaprio. But at this time, I mean, her life was in the fast lane. She had a lot of anxiety.
This was kind of interesting, and I related this. Her first panic attack that she opens up about was this bumpy flight on a small plane in 2003. I've actually had that happen out of nowhere. I fly all the time, but then had this crazy moment, and then that resulted in her being afraid of tunnels and elevators kind of in closed spaces.
And then it got very serious, and she kind of noticed one time when she was at home and she had a masseuse come over, give her a massage, she actually had a panic attack that was so bad she contemplated suicide. And she said this quote, she thought, if I jump off my roof, this is going to end, and I never have to worry about this feeling of my world closing in, which was very scary. So she knew after that she needed to get help.
It was a huge revelation that she got to that point, and she's willing to now talk about it. Shows that she's doing better with it. She went to a specialist. Xanax was prescribed. Yeah. She didn't really want to be dependent on a substance. That was part of her thing. Even though it obviously helps people, she was worried like, oh my gosh, what if I don't have a pill one day? What am I going to do?
Yeah, I mean, now things seem to be a lot better. She kind of figured that out. She's turned to yoga and meditation, and she seems to be very happy. I mean, especially now that she's opening up about it and wants to be more of a model, role model for people that are going through similar things.
All right, so now we move from one couple to another couple that we absolutely love. Chrissy Teigen and John Legend. Watch this.
We're like addicted to The Affair and Homeland. Those are our date nights. Like Handmaids, The Affair, and like a braised meat. that's like we love. I don't know. I feel like it's romantic at least.
Just a good braised meat. So Chrissy, she's this week's cover story on People, talking all about the new cookbook, new recipes, the whole thing. It's called Cravings, Hungry for More. And guys, by the way, it's available right now.
Yeah, and easier recipes, which make me very excited because I'm not a cook. But one of my favorite things about Chrissy is her relationship with John Legend. So in the magazine, she talks date nights with hubby, and they kind of butt heads when it comes to how to spend their time together. Watch this.
I try to stay in as often as possible. Poor John. John loves a date night. Like, he is always the one that I'll be in my calendar or something, and he's like, he's like, can we go to dinner tomorrow? Can we do this? Like, he loves being out, but obviously women know it takes a lot more for us to go out. John can put on anything, like a cute little sweater, some slacks, and we can head out. And it's a bit more of a mission for me. It's like a 2-hour process for a 90-minute dinner. So I don't know if I love that, but that's why I try to, maybe I think that's why I love cooking so much at home, is to like entice him to stay at home.
I like that about her. By the way, if you have a house as amazing as theirs, really just stay home.
A husband like John Legend.
But a night in for them, it equals, and for her anyway, it's family time, time with the kids, Luna and Miles. That's obviously important.
Yeah, now Luna is 2 years old, and she's kind of already following in Chrissy's footsteps when it comes to loving food.
Luna loves to help with everything. She needs to be a part of. I don't think I'll ever be able to have like a meal in peace again. Like even if I kind of sneak off and sit on the couch, or she's like, she like pops up behind it. I'm like, I see her like head of curls, and I'm just like, ah. And she's like, have some. And then I'm like, yes, of course, come sit. We share everything. She's stirring. She's like very involved in our cooking life. She sits up at the counter. She knows, I think one of the earliest things she learned was, you know, hot and warm, and yeah, she's just always been interested and comfortable in the kitchen, which I'm happy about, because there's a lot of adults that are like super uncomfortable in the kitchen, and it took me a while to get there too, so I'm happy to see her feel good there.
I love that. I love their relationship. So she's got the cravings, hungry for more, but I wonder, is there a future maybe cookbook between her and Luna? Maybe mother-daughter cookbook?
Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
I know. And okay, so it's actually been over 2 years since her last cookbook, and a big reason of that was because she had postpartum depression after she had Luna.
Yeah, it really took a toll on her. She says that she felt stress, detachment, frustration, sadness, low energy, sort of intense aches and pains. Just lost her appetite in general, and working on a cookbook was impossible during that phase.
Yeah.
We stopped down on it for maybe like 6 months, which is a long time in the book publishing world. For me, I had just had Luna. I was exhausted. Everyone knows my postpartum story. And I just, yeah, I started looking at food and really just, I was like, I'm just not in the mood. It's almost like going to the grocery store full. You just don't want the same things. You aren't craving the same things. Food wasn't that thrilling to look at for me. That was actually one of the first times that I really knew something was wrong, was when I was like, this is weird, this appetite thing is really weird. So we totally stopped down, let me get back to, you know, my best self. And then once we started again, it was like, oh my God, I'm so happy we didn't rush into this book.
It's time to go see it, Tess.
I'm not ready.
Neither are we. Spoiler alert, This Is Us fans. Season 3 premiered on Tuesday. We've already been left with a few subtle hints plus a few mysteries.
I know, it's a lot, but let's break it down. In the final scene, we're given a big clue as to who the her might be in another flash forward scene.
So old Randall calls old Toby, but Toby is not looking like himself. He's alone. He seems kind of depressed, to be honest, and it tells old Randall that he doesn't think that he should see her.
Yeah, so we are left wondering, is the her Kate? Is Toby still married to Kate? Why wouldn't Tess want to see Kate?
So many questions. Another big reveal, though. Toby and Kate are going to try in vitro to have a baby, but Toby secretly stops taking his antidepressants to help with the process. Could be a major clue to Toby's state in that whole flash forward scene. We don't know.
And in other plot developments, Deja visits her absentee father and officially agrees to be adopted by the Pearsons. Now, Beth is not pleased that Kevin and Zoe are knocking boots, warning Kevin that Zoe is a man-eater.
You gotta watch out. And we go back in time to Jack and Rebecca's first date, where we learn that Jack was not the only man in Rebecca's life.
Don't tell us that. All right, there's a lot to unpack, but in typical This Is Us fashion, we're gonna have to wait a few more episodes to find out the answers, and you guys can head to people.com for the full recap.
Because baby, I just don't trust myself with you. I better hide the wine.
Hide the wine. Country singer Carly Pearce is climbing the charts with her soulful songs and doesn't plan on stopping anytime soon. The Hide the Wine singer recently posted photos of herself back in the studio, so we had to find out when we could expect new music.
Way sooner than you think.
Ooh.
Yes, Busby and I, my producer, we are working really hard right now, so I don't know.
Now, we know you're in a relationship, so are these gonna be love songs? What kind of music?
Definitely more love songs on this one. The evolution of being in love. Yes, I'm in love, and but there's still gonna be those classic Carly Pearce heartbreak songs.
Well, Carly is dating fellow country singer Michael Ray. She actually slid into his DMs, and it took him a little bit to figure out she was hitting on him. But don't worry, Michael has made sure to step up his romance game since then.
He is so romantic, and I probably exploit him too much on social media of what he does for me, but it's really sweet, and he's constantly doing little things for me, and I like those little things. I feel like all the ladies like the little things, and he, even though we spend so many days apart and miles apart. He is very intentional, and it's special.
Yeah, what would you say is the cutest thing he's ever done for you?
My last day on the Rascal Flatts tour was in Michigan, and I was sitting in a nail salon with one of my friends, and he showed up at the nail salon and flew in and said, "I'm not missing your last show."
That's so adorable.
I know.
Were you just freaking out when he showed up?
I was. It was this out-of-body thing where I'm like, wait, oh my God, okay, that is you. I thought I was dreaming for a second, but he's sweet.
They are so adorable.
I love hearing about their
I
relationship.
know, I like that she slid into the DMs. It took a little bit to figure it out.
It worked.
All right, let's take one last look at our question of the day. We've been asking your reactions to last night's This Is Us season premiere.
Here we go.
Gifts. We've been asking for some gifts. Let's see them.
There they are. Yeah, just do a little dance with
LOL.
the cow. No big deal.
Oprah crying.
Yep. Oh, the candy apple. Because they went on the date to the carnival.
Wow, I
It
see
rained
what you
them
did there.
Yep. Okay, just
Just
enjoying some
shocked.
popcorn.
There's
Like,
some
what's
great
gonna
gifts. I
happen?
think that pretty much sums it up. We'll be back with another question of the day tomorrow, so tune in for that.
And coming up tomorrow, guys, Shamar Moore is here filling us in on all things season 2 of SWAT and his abs. By the way, you don't want to miss that.
Thanks for watching. For now, we leave you with one last thing from actress Freema Agyeman. Enjoy.
Bye, guys.
Hello, I'm Freema Agyeman, and this is One Last Thing. The last time I was starstruck was possibly quite recently when I went to the San Diego Comic-Con and I spotted Jason Momoa across the other side of the room. But I couldn't even move, I was rooted to the spot. So there we go, Jason Momoa. The last show I binge watched. I don't watch an awful lot of telly, but I am watching something at the moment much later than everybody else, and that's Scandal. Next is RuPaul's Drag Race. That's next on my list to binge watch. The last time I laughed so hard I cried. I'm laughing a lot lately on set. Everyone's so funny and fun, and it's usually when the 6 of us are all together. It just descends into delirium.